This is macOS Ken.
Trouble for Apple in the UK and Europe, more stories of beta builds, and two tales of Apple TV Plus. It's Friday, the 5th of March, 2021. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from macOS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by AudiblePlus. Content that entertains, inspires, and informs. Visit audible.com/macOSKen or text macOSKen to 500 to start your free 30-day trial. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. It is a case nearly 2 years in the making, and it looks like it is going against Apple. Apple Insider says the European Commission, business end of the European Union, is set to bring antitrust charges against the Cupertino company. This after an investigation that started in May of 2019, when Spotify complained that Apple treats competitors unfairly. Apple Insider highlights a Reuters report, which has two unnamed sources saying that Apple may be sent what's called a statement of objections. This so-called charge sheet typically includes a fine, but also what measures the party has to do to stop its anti-competitive practices. No word on what the fine might be, nor on any measures Apple might be told to take. It's also unclear what the appeals process would be for Apple should the EC decision go against it, which it looks like it's gonna. The UK is looking just as unfriendly to Apple as the EC, it seems. Mac Rumors says Thursday the United Kingdom's Competition and Market Authority, or CMA, launched an official investigation into the distribution of apps on iOS and iPadOS devices in the UK and the terms and conditions governing the platform. The CMA says it thinks Apple has violated competition law under Chapter 2 of the 1998 Competition Act. The piece says Chapter 2 relates to a specific company or organization using its domain position within a particular market or industry to limit competition and further enhance its position. Mac Rumors has the organization indicating that its investigation will determine whether or not Apple has a dominant position in connection with the distribution of apps on Apple's devices in the UK, and if so, whether Apple imposes unfair or anti-competitive terms on developers using the App Store. Well, Apple does have a dominant position in connection with the distribution of apps on Apple devices. While the CMA may see that as a bug, Apple deems it a feature. Apple issued a statement in response to the CMA announcement. Quoting part of that, the App Store has been an engine of success for app developers in part because of the rigorous standards we have in place, applied fairly and equally to all developers to protect customers from malware and to prevent rampant data collection without their consent. We look forward to working with the UK Competition and Markets Authority to explain how our guidelines for privacy, security, and content have made the App Store a trusted marketplace for both consumers and developers. News of another beta for developers. Mac Rumors says the third beta for watchOS 7.4 is out to the dev types. The biggest anticipated feature for the upcoming update is the ability to unlock an iPhone running iOS 14.5 using Face ID while wearing a mask. The piece points out that Face ID won't work with a mask, though looking at your iPhone while wearing a mask and an unlocked Apple Watch will go ahead and do part of the Face ID trick. While it will unlock the iPhone, the piece says the Apple Watch cannot be used to authenticate Apple Pay or App Store purchases, nor can it be used to unlock apps that require a Face ID scan. In these situations, the mask will need to be removed, or a passcode or password will need to be used instead. Mac Rumors goes on to say that the watchOS iOS combo should also enable AirPlay 2 for Fitness Plus workouts. The combo won't flash workout metrics on an AirPlay screen, but it will roll the video. watchOS 7.4 is expected in early spring. Spring starts in just over 2 weeks, so the update should be out to the public relatively soon. Another anticipated feature in another of the betas isn't happening. It had seemed in early betas of iOS 14.5 that users would be able to set third-party music apps as the default for Siri. It sounds now like that's not something users can set for Siri, though it may be something Siri can learn. According to a piece from TechCrunch, following the beta's release back in February, a number of beta testers noticed that Siri would now ask which music service they would like to use when they asked Siri to play music. But Apple doesn't consider this feature the equivalent to setting a default, an option that more recently began to allow for email and browser apps. Instead, the piece continues, the feature is Siri intelligence-based, meaning it can improve and even change over time as Siri learns to better understand your listening habits. So you can't set a new music default for Siri, but it seems you can teach Siri a new music default. See also podcasts, audiobooks, and who knows what else down the road. Apple's made it easier to shift your stuff to Google. Mac Rumors ran a report Wednesday telling of a new tool for transferring iCloud photos and videos to Google Photos. The piece points to an Apple support doc telling people how to do it. According to the report, users can go to Apple's privacy website and sign in to see the transfer a copy of your data option. If you select this and go through all the steps, Apple will transfer your iCloud photos and videos to Google Photos. The piece makes clear this process does not delete data from iCloud, it simply copies it over. Well, simply is probably understating it. The piece points out the transfer process takes between 3 and 7 days, with Apple verifying that the request was made by you. To do the transfer, you must have two-factor authentication turned on for your Apple ID account, and you must have a Google Photos account with enough storage to complete the transfer. The transfer service is available now to users in Australia, Canada, the EU, Iceland, Liechtenstein, New Zealand, Norway, Switzerland, the UK, and the US. More news in a moment, but first a word from Audible, the leading provider of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks. AudiblePlus gives you access to thousands and thousands of select Audible originals, audiobooks, and podcasts, including ad-free versions of popular shows, as well as exclusive series. Now, this isn't something you have to save credits for and spend credits for. This is more like a smorgasbord. It's 2021, so you can have all of this wherever and whenever you want, with apps for your iPhone or your iPad. Take your titles to the kitchen. Take them on a walk. Take them to sleep with the app Sleep Timer. You can drift off listening to mysteries, histories, or one of their titles made to guide you to sleep. I like the way the app works. You can browse by genre, by mood, check out some of the most popular listens, or search for a topic you're into. I'm still deep in the Carpathian Mountains with Bram Stoker's Dracula, though my library is brimming with tons of titles at the ready. Lots to check out, and you can check it out for free. Visit audible.com/macosken or text macosken to 500-500 to start your free 30-day trial. Whether you're looking to strengthen skills, be more informed, or just be entertained, AudiblePlus has tons of titles for you. Visit audible.com/macosken or text macosken to 500-500 to start your free 30-day trial. News today around a Deezer competitor, because could you really call Tidal an Apple Music competitor? Really? Anyway, news today around Tidal. Engadget says the financial services company Square has purchased a majority stake in Tidal for the equivalent of $297 million in cash and stock. In a Twitter thread 8 or 9 tweets long, Square CEO and Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey said the deal is all about finding new and better ways to get artists paid. In one of the tweets, Dorsey says, Square created ecosystems of tools for sellers and individuals, and will do the same for artists. We'll work on entirely new listening experiences to bring fans closer together, simple integrations for merch sales, modern collaboration tools, and new complementary revenue streams. According to Engadget, Jay-Z, who's already collaborating with Dorsey on a Bitcoin fund, is still involved and will join Square's board of directors with influence over other products. The purchase also cuts out third-party investors. Only the artists themselves hold Tidal's remaining shares, Square said. Tidal will operate independently if the deal closes as expected in the second quarter of this year. The Apple TV Plus series Ted Lasso is getting a new character and a new actor for the second season. Deadline says Sarah Niles is joining the cast. Among Niles' most notable roles are a part on Trying, which is also on Apple TV Plus, and I May Destroy You, which is not on Apple TV Plus. Niles' character on the show is Sharon, a sports psychologist who's been brought in to work with AFC Richmond, the football team coached by Lasso, Coach Beard, and Nate the Great. Already signed for 3 seasons, the second season's really not that far off. The show went back into production in January. Apple said on Twitter last month that Season 2 will hit the stream this summer. One assumes that that's still true, though there's some cause to wonder. The piece from last month on Apple Insider still quotes that Twitter message, but clicking a link to that message lets one know that that tweet is unavailable. And finally today, remember a couple of weeks ago when I said you will not escape the power that is Billie Eilish or something like that? Get this. Another piece from Deadline says last weekend's Apple TV Plus debut of Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry, increased the Cupertino streamer's viewership by 1/3. No official numbers, of course. Apple TV doesn't give out hard numbers. Acknowledging that, Deadline's Mike Fleming Jr. writes, the movie drew a record-breaking 33% new viewers to the service, with young adult audiences fueling the momentum from the moment the film premiered on Thursday, the 25th of February. Nearly half of the film's audience came from outside the U.S. and was number 1 among young adults across the globe, including the UK, Australia, Mexico, Germany, Brazil, Russia, the Netherlands, France, and more, per Apple. Can't escape her power. Coming up in a few minutes, Parallel host Shelley Brisbane is back to give the wheel a few more spins. Her favorite comedian, the scariest thing she's ever done, DC or Marvel. Shelley Brisbane rounds out the week spinning the wheel of stuff. The show is called In a Few Minutes. Look for it and subscribe wherever you get podcasts. macOS Ken Live goes live again today, 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/KenRay. Be there when it happens or grab the audio podcast later. For this one, you're looking for macOS Ken Live. Listen and subscribe wherever podcasts are served. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by AudiblePlus. Visit audible.com/macOSKen or text macOSKen to 500-500 to start your free 30-day trial. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macosken. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.